Work pays, that is it. Hard work pays. Work from Adikuni Gold on Rock City 101.9 FM. And of course, when you hear that inspiring song, you know it's about time for Economic Trend on Rock City 101.9 FM. My name is Ololade Sanyaolu. Course Economic Trend is a program where we tend to give you stories trending in the business and economic situations, talking about our dear country and Nigeria from different states, of course, with different perspective when it comes to business or our economy in order for it to thrive. All right, starting with Ogun State. Ogun State government plans to shut down all 8 forest reserves in the state for the next 5 years to nurture 8 forestry products. The forest reserves include Arakonga Forest Reserve in Abeokuta, Edo Strand Forestry Reserve in Yewa Axis, as well as more forest reserve areas J1, J3, J4, J6, and AK, all in Ijebu Axis. Commissioner for Forestry Commissioner Kolawole Lawal made this known in his office in Abeokuta during an oversight visit by members of the State House of Assembly Committee on Agriculture and Forestry, who are monitoring the implementation of the ministry's 2017 budget performance. Lawal explains that the closure of the forest reserves is to ensure that trees, among other forest products in them, were adequately conserved to attain full maturity before their exploitation. The trees being fell across the state forest reserve in recent time, according to him, were not full grown up to generate adequate revenue. The commissioner said that the incessant and undue exploitation of the state-owned forest reserves had compelled the government to outlaw flitches operations and movement of around logs from the state to other states. This Dangote Group, Black Rhino Group, and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) have signed an agreement to construct the $1.1 billion Kwa Ibom power plant in Akwa Ibom State. The investors signed a pact with Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading (PLC) to develop the project, expected to produce 540 megawatt electricity by 2021. The investors said Mobile Producing Nigeria, which initiated a power project with the NNPC, sold its right to develop the project to investors in the plant. However, Mobile has a 20-year gas sales agreement with the new investors to supply about 400 million standard cubic feet per day of gas from its offshore oil production facility. Power Works and Housing Minister Mr. Babatunde Fashola, who supervised the signing of the power purchase agreement in Abuja, explains the development was part of government desire to consistently provide stable electricity in the country. Although the investors promised to build a 58-kilometer long transmission line to evacuate its output, Fashola assures that the Ikot-Ekpene to Ikot-Abasi transmission line built by the National Integrated Power Project will be ready to take power from the Kwa Ibo plant. And moving over to Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State government has finalized plans to disburse the 2 billion naira loan to workers on its payroll. The loan scheme is being operated by the Government and Bank of Industry (BOI). Chairman of the committee set up by the state government to work out the modalities for the loan disbursement, Pius Eze, made this known in Abakaliki, the state capital, and asked civil servants to key into the loan scheme. According to him, the committee has embarked on sensitization visits to local government areas of the state to enlighten the workers on the importance of keying into the scheme. He explained that it is difficult under the present economic situation for workers to save between 300,000 naira and 500,000 naira from their salaries to start up a business. It is a sense that government and BOI contributed 1 billion naira each into the scheme and stressed that beneficiaries would pay a paltry 6% interest. The loan, according to him, would assist civil servants to engage in alternative sources of income to better their welfare and economic well-being. Axis Bank plc has announced a profit after tax of 56.4 billion naira for 9 months ended September 30, 2017. The profit after tax increased by 4.25% when compared to 54.1 billion naira recorded in the corresponding period of 2016. The bank's 9-month financial result released by the Nigerian Stock Exchange (NSE) in Lagos also reveals that its gross earnings rose to 245.87 billion naira as against 181.2 billion naira achieved in the preceding period of 2016. The results also indicate 33% growth in gross earnings year on year to 365 billion naira from 275 billion naira in 2016, driven primarily by the strong performance on core revenue lines. The bank's group managing director, Mr. Herbert Wigwe, says that strategies embarked upon between 2013 and 2017 contributed to the growth. He said that the reporting period marked the last quarter of the 2013 to 2017 strategic period, adding that the bank remained committed to improving the quality of its balance sheet. He said that the bank's third quarter performance showed that operating costs reduced significantly by 18% quarter on quarter to 49.5 billion in September. Alright, still in the banking sector, Fidelity Bank PLC has taken 5% impairment charges on a 17.3 billion naira, that is about $55 million loan to Etisalat Nigeria, now Nine Mobile. Reuters quoted managing directors of the bank, Nnamdi Okonkwo, saying it was based on a Central Bank of Nigeria's directive. Etisalat Nigeria took a $1.2 billion syndicated loan from a group of 13 local banks 4 years ago, but has defaulted on repayments this year due to a currency crisis and recession in Nigeria. Industry sources claim that the CBN at last week asked lenders in the deal to take a 5% provision as part of their third quarter results. The bank posted a pre-tax profit of 16.24 billion naira for the 9 months to September, up from 9.83 billion naira last year. However, the Senate voted in favor of investigating Etisalat Nigeria's default and how its funds were used. It said it was aware of allegations that the loans had been diverted to other users not related to the business, as there was no evidence of what the company did with the loans. Federal government, 36 states, and 774 local governments have shared revenue totaling 558 billion naira as part of allocation from the Federation account for the month of October. The revenue is 130.42 billion naira, lower than 637.7 billion naira shared by the three tiers of government in September. The breakdown shows that the federal government receives 198.04 billion naira, 36 states government 100.45 billion naira, 774 local government 77.4 billion naira, while oil producing states got 35.4 billion naira as 13% derivation. Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, announces the revenue sharing at the end of the monthly meeting of Federation Account Allocation Committee in Abuja. He explains that the shared revenue include 423.9 billion naira from statutory accounts, 83.3 billion naira from value-added tax, and 50.8 billion naira from foreign exchange equalization account. Only 4 state governments in the country have the capability to meet their recurrent expenditure, including salary, without borrowing or depending on funds from donors or extra budgetary sources. The 4 states, according to a report, are Kano, Katsina, Rivers, and Lagos. The report is unveiled by Budget Transparency Advocacy Group, Budget Nigeria, in its new Fiscal Sustainability Index. The report says the effect of the huge debt backed by irrevocable standing payment order is eating deep into the finances of Lagos, Cross River, and Osun states. Anambra and Yobe State are named as 2 states and the Federation able to sustainably manage their debt profile. Nigerian oil company Ololade PLC has obtained a court order to lift the suspension of trading in its shares by the Securities and Exchange Commission. The court order also asked the Commission not to go ahead with its planned forensic audit of Oando. The Nigerian Stock Exchange had frozen the Oando's share price at 5 naira 99 kobo on Monday until further notice after the Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) ordered the audit. The SEC suspended trading at the stock for 48 hours last week, saying it was investigating complaints about insider trading and discrepancies in its ownership structure. The Nigerian Stock Exchange said it was reviewing the court processes to provide an appropriate defense against the court order. The SEC declined to comment, saying that it was yet to receive the court order. In an SEC letter to Oando dated October 17, the regulator accused Oando of corporate governance abuses and financial mismanagement, basing its allegation on two petitions received from Dahiru Barao Mangal and Ansbury Incorporated. It added that it would engage accountancy firm Deloitte to lead the audit together with lawyers and stockbrokers at a cost of 160 million naira, which would be borne by Oando. A company source has said the petition centered on the ownership of some Oando shares bought through an investment vehicle at the time the company acquired the Nigerian subsidiary of U.S. oil company ConocoPhillips for $1.65 billion in 2014. Alrighty, 10 minutes before 12, you're still listening to Economic Trend on Rock City 101.9 FM. Moving on, Board of Ashika Cement PLC, Gombe, has approved the exchange of shares held by minority shareholders for shares in Lafarge Africa, the majority shareholder. The acting chairman of the Board of Ashika Cement, Mrs. Edith Nwuchikewa, announced the approval at the Extraordinary General Meeting held yesterday at the Sheraton Hotel in Abuja, and under the arrangement, minority shareholders will receive 57 Lafarge Africa shares for every 202 Ashika Cement shares. The new share structure will make Ashika Cement a fully owned subsidiary of Lafarge Africa and offer its shareholders the window to liquidate their investment following the delisting of the third cement maker from the trading floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange (NSE) in July. The Chief Financial Officer of Lafarge Africa, Bruno Baye, explains that the minority shareholders of Ashika Cement now have the opportunity to be part of the Lafarge Africa, with total installed production capacity of over 14 million metric tons of cement per annum and strong growth prospects. Though now a 100% subsidiary of Lafarge Africa, Ashika Cement will have its own board of directors. Federal government and state governments have agreed to create a harmonized platform that will renew the drive towards the industrialization of Nigeria. To this end, the National Economic Council, chaired by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, has formed a governors committee comprising of 6 representative governors from the geopolitical zones to work with the Industrial Policy and Competitiveness Advisory Council. The 6 governors selected were from Kaduna, Kwara, Ogun, Abia, Edo, and Adamawa State, with committee to be chaired by the Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai. A former chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), Mrs. Ifeeko Omogui Okaru, has said that Nigeria could only get a tax system right by including tax in its education curriculum. Omogui said that through education, tax can imbibe into the fabrics of every Nigerian and better awareness will be created. She added that just like extracurricular activities like football, tennis have become part of many Nigerians, tax can only be put in school systems. According to the former FIRS boss, the money spent on creating awareness through the various media of communication would be reduced if tax and its importance is imbibed at an early age. She also added that with education, every Nigerian can become a vanguard of tax and understand the link between spending and revenue mobilization through tax. She re-emphasized that if tax is put in the minds of citizens at a young age, the problem of illicit financial flows from Nigeria would be mitigated. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Ibe Kachiko says that 26 firms have indicated their interest in the revamping of the nation's three existing refineries. Revamping the three refineries will require an investment of $2 billion. Kachiko says the nation was close to finalizing the process for private partners to revamp three existing refineries, which will lead to production of 450,000 barrels per day. The minister, addressing an oil conference in Cape Town, South Africa, explains that they are almost at the threshold of finalizing the process of selection and could announce its selection by January or February. The minister also said the Dangote refinery, with capacity to process 650,000 barrels per day of oil being built in Nigeria, is due to come on stream by the end of 2019. The NNPC last year launched bidding to find partners to overhaul its ailing refineries, which hardly produce any petrol due to decades of mismanagement and widespread drought, leaving OPEC member Nigeria reliant on imported oil products. The government has previously said it was in talks with Chevron, Total, and ENI. Come to the end of Economic Trend. Those are the stories trending for now. If you want more, join us again on Monday for another interesting episode on Economic Trend. Till then, do have a lovely weekend. My name is Ololade Sanyaolu. Bye for now.